Welcome to the Mindset Mentor segment on today's Smart Chiropractor show. We kick off every Smart Chiropractor show with our Mindset segment because it is so critically important to set the stage for any of the tactical actions that you're taking. Jason, you have been referencing Roger Bannister for a few months now, and today is our opportunity to dive a little bit deeper to help docs listening and watching understand why Roger Bannister is so important to their practice, how they can think about this, and really how this applies to the growth of their practice. I'm throwing out a lot of fishing lines there, but I know you have the answers to this. We've talked offline about this quite a bit, but why do docs need to be in tune with the story and tale of Roger Bannister?
Well, the whole idea of Roger Bannister, as you said, I've been referencing him quite a bit. Roger Bannister was the first recorded runner to break the 4-minute mile. And what's really most interesting about the story is that nobody was able to break the 4-minute mark when running a mile until Roger Bannister proved it was possible, until he did it. You think about that. For as many years, decades that they've been running, recording running, timing running, etc., around the world, Roger Bannister was the first to do it. Now, what is fascinating to me about the story is that he only held the record for 46 days. And in fact, he broke the record, but he's also the holder of the record for the shortest period of time. So here's the point that I found fascinating and why I consistently will and have referenced Roger Bannister. If you think about that, no, out of the entire population of the planet, we couldn't find anyone who could break this record. He does, and as soon as the world knew it was possible, let's at least say as soon as runners knew that it was possible, then all of a sudden people's mind shifted to recognize if he can do it, I can do it. And that's very much our philosophy here. You know, we talk a lot about teaching and inviting consistently, building your audience, building, these large following of people that you're then able to teach and invite, meaning teach them something and invite them to take a next step. We reference people like Joe Mercola or Josh Axe or many, many, many of the thousands of others who are online building audiences and offering their audiences something that they want to buy, whether that's information, whether that's access, whether those are products that the influencer or creator decides that are sort of their favorite things. We watch podcasts on a regular basis, and this podcast is sponsored by. There's plenty of Roger Bannisters out there that are showing all of us what's possible, and that's really the reference. And I'm going to read just quickly from his Wikipedia page. I'll assume it's true because it's on Wikipedia and anybody can change it. But let me just give you a sense for his interesting and unique story. Forgive my reading. I want to get it right. Sir Roger Gilbert Bannister, who unfortunately passed away March 3rd, 2018, was an English middle distance athlete and neurologist, another interesting connection to chiropractors and chiropractic, who ran the first sub 4-minute mile. He did it at the 1952 Olympics in Helsinki. Bannister set a British record in the 1,500 meters, finished in 4th place. So that was in the 52 Olympics, excuse me. This achievement strengthened his resolve, meaning his Olympic performance strengthened his resolve to become the first athlete to finish the mile run under 4 minutes. He accomplished this feat on May 6th, back around this time, 1954, at Iffley Road Track in Oxford, with Chris Chataway and Chris Brasher providing the pacing. When the announcer, Norris McWhirter, declared the time was 3, whatever it was afterwards, the cheers of the crowd drowned out Bannister's exact time, which was 3 minutes and 59.4 seconds. He had attained this record with minimal training while practicing as a junior doctor. Bannister's record lasted just 46 days. Now here I'm just going to sort of show the next interesting part. If that wasn't interesting enough, Bannister went on to become a neurologist at Master of Pembroke College, Oxford, before retiring in 1993. As Master of Pembroke, he was the governing body of Abingdon School from 1986 to 1993. When asked whether the 4-minute mile was his proudest achievement, he said he felt prouder of his contribution to academic medicine through research into the responses of the nervous system. Oh, the ironies. Bannister was a patron of the MSA Trust. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2011. So I thought that was an interesting story. And I guess some of the things it makes me think about and sort of ask is, what's your dream as you, the viewer? What's your dream? And, are you living your dream? Are you practicing your dream? You went to chiropractic school. Jeff and I were talking about this a little bit earlier, and we were sort of prepping, and it sort of dawned on me. I'm like, all of us had that moment where we made the decision to go to chiropractic school. When you look back, you go, okay, I decided to stop my life. You were all doing something. Maybe you were in college ready to potentially have a career or go to school. Maybe you were going to go to some graduate school. You decided chiropractic graduate school as opposed to other forms of healthcare, lawyers, accountants, other things you could have done. You could have done anything for the most part that you wanted to do, and you chose this. And I'm guessing you made that, I don't want to say sacrifice, because sacrifice tends to mean you did it without getting a return, but you made that choice. You made that investment of your time, of your energy, of your life. There's an interesting thing in economics that's called opportunity costs. And opportunity costs are what you could have done with the money if you didn't put it in whatever investment that you did. And that concept applies here too. What could you have done with your time while in chiropractic school, while building a practice? What was the opportunity you gave up in order to invest in this opportunity and to make this choice? And Jeff and I talk about this a lot because, we question ourselves. Why are we doing what we're doing? Are we on the right track? Is this true to our intentions and our desires? And what outcomes are we looking for when we introduce the ideas and the products and the concepts that we are and will be introducing to you? And, this has been an accumulation of, decades of our work. And what it really comes down to is that we think many chiropractors have sort of lost the forest through the trees, so to speak, that you get so into the day-to-day operations of things, and it gets exhausting, and it's overwhelming, and it gets frustrating. And then the number one issue that most chiropractors tend to be facing, not the only, but the number one most face, is this constant need for new patients. And we know that because, I'll talk to groups of chiropractors, talk on stage to chiropractors, talk one-on-one to chiropractors. And, with all the wonderful ideas that are out there, oftentimes chiropractors at the end of whatever great dream we came up with, wouldn't it be great if, wouldn't it be wonderful if, yes, yes, yes. But it still then comes down to, but I'm in a financial crunch and I need more new patients in order to be able to get my finances where they need to be so that I then have the freedom to make the choices to do what I want to do the way I want to do it. And the questions, you start having to ask yourself is that really true? Is it really true that you've got to give up your dream in order to be a responsible business owner, to be an entrepreneur, as some call it? And is that really what you signed up for? And I remember when I was sort of, I'll say, retiring from my practice, I was frustrated. I was looking for the next thing for me personally to do. And I remember when people would ask me, do you miss practice? Why are you leaving practice? What are you doing next? I didn't know what I was going to do next exactly. I had a dream, but I had no idea if I could actually pull it off. But the reason I remember saying that I was okay with retiring from practice when I chose to at the time was because I remember saying, this is not what I signed up for. That what I dreamt about in practice did not meet the reality of practicing. And when I got into the day-to-day operational, staph infection issues, patient attraction issues, operations, just the insanity of keeping your doors open and taxes and real estate issues and broken toilets and neighbors and parking and all the stuff that goes into being a business owner, I realized that it was kind of far off from the reason I was inspired to become a chiropractor to begin with, to help people, to be able to be knowledgeable, use my hands, and literally with my hands help people heal themselves by unlocking, releasing, setting free the interference to their body's ability to heal itself. That is what I wanted to do as a chiropractor. And as I was in practice for almost 10 years later, what I was doing, the minority of time, was based on what I wanted most of my time to be focused on. And that is very much what inspired me to sort of go, hey, listen, somebody's got to write a book. Somebody's got to get the message out to the masses so that people come in for the right reasons and stick around. Nobody else was out there doing it. I remember asking all my guru friends who were the celebrities of the profession, hey, you got to write a book. You're famous. You got to write a book. You're famous. You got to write a book. You're famous. And at the time, there wasn't any social media. There were authors who went on TV and talked about their ideas because they were the new best-selling author. That's why the context at the time. In today's world, it is. It's about building a following, just like a Josh Axe or a Mercola or many of the others who are attracting thousands, in some cases millions of people, millions of views in order to learn a new way of living. And in today's world, you have to just look no farther than Joe Rogan, just as sort of the Roger Bannister of what's possible when it comes to literally using technology, using a microphone, having some conversations, and teaching and entertaining people every day about whatever you want. And if Joe can do it, you can do it, we can do it, it is possible. And although we may not be wrestlers and we may not have be friends with all the top comedians and get all the guests, the concept still applies. People will listen to you. Not everyone, not tomorrow, but if you'll focus on your dream, if you'll follow the principles of teach and invite consistently, if you will get your business handled so it doesn't hijack the reality of your dream. Nobody's arguing with the financial realities that you've got rent and payroll and mortgages and taxes and insurances. There is a financial responsibility to running your operations. But I'll close by simply saying, who's winning? The dreamer or the business owner? We'll talk more about this in our business strategy session this week as well, but that's the theme for this week. Who's winning out? That doesn't mean that there's only one. You know, a dreamer needs to be a business owner. And I'd like to think a business owner needs to be a dreamer, although that's not always true. But that's exactly sort of the paradox or conundrum that we're at right now. We face those questions in our business each and every day, and that's what's driven us to a subscription model to run our operations, because we can attract those people that align with what we do and why we do it. In fact, content marketing is the exact opposite of what most marketers are teaching you in chiropractic. We are going the opposite direction on purpose. You might want to read a book if you want more information about that, called The Blue Ocean Strategy. It is about zagging when everybody else is zigging. It's about staying true to your principles of what makes you, what gets you excited to wake up in the morning and be of service to more people. It's not just that, oh, wow, we got a 2% increase, a 5% increase, a 9% increase. I'll close by saying, author Simon Sinek put it this way. I think we pretty much agree. He says that the goal of having a car is not to buy gas. Now, you go, of course that's the case. Duh, that sounds so silly and obvious. But the metaphor is that the goal of a business is not to generate a profit. Now you go, what? Wait, I thought that's exactly what it's supposed to be. So let's put it together. A car is designed to take you places, and gas, fuel, is designed to fuel the car to take you to those places. And a business, your practice, is designed to be something that is both an expression of you and your creative dream, and it is designed to be a vehicle to serve and help more people, to make a positive difference in the world, not just to generate more fuel, more profit, more money, more gas. So keep in context. Hopefully this maybe resonates with a few of you. Some of you may go, no, I just want to generate as much revenue as I can. Respect, do whatever, however you want to. But some of us are dreamers, and that's what some of us signed up to be chiropractors for, was to make a bigger difference, to get the money out of the way and still be of service to people and make a positive difference in the world. And if that sounds like you, then please continue to join the conversation. That's where we come from in our business, and that's the reason we provide the services we do now and some of the things you'll see us launching in the future, is to automate the messaging so that you can build an audience of people online that learn to learn from you, so you can teach and invite them consistently, so that you can either help them in your practice and or help them with the other things they need by building an audience, teaching them, and providing them the products that they're already buying anyway, that they could and should be subscribing and saving and buying from you. And if you learn the detailed strategy that we're putting out there with our upcoming payday practice concept, you'll recognize that the genius in the future is going to be the dreamer who takes control of their business by being able to figure out, how do I generate monthly recurring revenue that will meet my monthly recurring expenses so my business is taken care of, and now I can express my dream. That's what it's all about in summary. We'll be getting into more and more detail throughout this episode and future episodes. If that conversation resonates with you, if something comes up for you, leave some comments down below. What's your dream? Do you have a Roger Bannister in your life, somebody who did what you want to do, that you say, hey, if he or she can do it, I can do it too? Who's that person? What's that thing? Let's keep the conversations going. Jeff, what are your thoughts? It's a big concept. It's a tough one. It's debatable. You know, you need money. You need it. There's no question. Nobody's saying you can just be a dreamer, although some people maybe can if they have no monetary needs and no spouses or family members depending on them for certain things. What are your thoughts on the topic, Jeff?
This is a powerful way to kick off today's Smart Chiropractor show. I just encourage every doc out there, look up the story of Roger Bannister. Jason, as you were diving deeper, there's so much to uncover. Really special guy. And it's a great example of looking at what is perhaps impossible and making it possible. All of us out there listening, watching, including you and myself, we have people that we follow online, influencers, celebrities, athletes, whoever it might be. Look at what they're doing. And quite often, especially if it is somebody in the podcasting world, if it's somebody in the business world, quite often they are doing what we talk about, which is teach and invite consistently. They can be your Roger Bannister. All of us can have our own Roger Bannister. So look at what those people out there that you look towards, see what they're doing, understand what they're doing. I have a sneaking suspicion that more often than not, the core essence of what they're going to be doing each and every day is teaching and inviting. You can do the same, but the biggest thing you have to do is get started. Results follow actions, as you know we always say. So you got to take those action steps. There's no better day than today to get started. And the sooner you start, the sooner you'll start to see those results that you're looking for. But in the meantime, head over to Wikipedia, check out Roger Bannister's profile. He's a fascinating guy, a great story, and an interesting model that can be applied in many areas of business and life. So Jason, fantastic way to kick off today's Smart Chiropractor show. Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to the Smart Chiropractor. We are posting videos on how you can market your chiropractic practice in a way that teach and invites consistently. We have found that is the magic formula to big time growth. So if you like this video, be sure to comment down below, smash that subscribe button, or visit us at thesmartchiropractor.com.